What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and today I am going to be talking about the new leaks that were released for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Now, I usually don't read too much into leaks, but after what happened with Game of Thrones, and every single leak that was released came true, I remember I was on a stream with Mahler and Jeremy and a lot of other people, and then afterwards, me, Mahler, and Jeremy were still hanging out and talking, and I was like, you know what, guys, screw it. After what I just watched, tell me what the hell they are, because, the guys were just like, yeah, I read them, I didn't believe what I read, and then it happened, and it was like, oh, this is legit. So, I was like, you know what? After what happened with Game of Thrones, I have, with this new movie coming out, after what happened with The Last Jedi, I have, no investment in this movie. So let's see how freaking bad it is. And I skimmed through it. I'm not happy. So let's go through and just see what a jumble fuck of disaster this is going to be. Alright, for some reason my OBS is deciding not to work, so I am just going to read them right here on my screen. So I apologize I don't have it up. The link to all of these leaks will be in the description of this video, and if it's not in the description, I will pin it in a comment, because YouTube will sometimes flag people's videos if there's a link that takes them outside of YouTube. So most likely, if it's not in the description, 100% will be in a pinned comment. And if this gets taken down, I have taken screenshots of everything, and I can post them either in the community section of this channel or on Twitter, or if that even fails, it can go up on my Facebook page or my Instagram. So let's check this out. Let's read this. Spoilers! While this is a spoil-friendly sub... Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. As stated in a previous leak, it's been reiterated to me that we will indeed be getting young Luke Skywalker and Leia flashbacks in The Rise of Skywalker. Why does everything that they come out sound like a sexual innuendo? That's immediately the first thing I thought of. Maybe it's because my mind is in the gutter, but still, a lot of a majority of the titles that they come out with, I'm just like, you're supposed to be Disney. You're owned by Disney now. Come on. One particular appears to be the opening of the movie, no less. We begin the action by seeing one of, if not the final training lesson between Luke and Leia. So that'll be interesting to see Luke and Leia, training with one another. If this was done by any other company, with any other directors, if it was George and, someone else doing it, I would have a lot more faith in it. I mean, heck, even get Timothy's on. Get Timothy's on to write the scenes for you. I know he's not a screenwriter, but when you read his novels, he really is good at capturing the essence of these characters. I would love to see Luke and Leia training. I will, especially Leia getting into that training. If you read the Expanded Universe novels, you will know just, how impactful that is, and, her journey with, her lightsaber, and then her children, and her, with the government and everything. But I know, getting off on tangents, let me get back. Leia, lesson between Luke and Leia. Leia is giving up her Jedi training due to the fact that she's pregnant with the son. She does not do that in the Expanded Universe. In the Expanded Universe, she embraces the training because she knows it's going to protect her children when she is pregnant with her twins. In the Expanded Universe novels, if you go read, the Heir to the Empire, and, the Thrawn trilogy, and then the Thrawn duology, you go read that, when she's pregnant, they're coming because they want her baby. Well, now they know it's twins, so they want her babies. She has to protect herself. Chewie takes her to Kashyyyk, and she has to stay with the Wookiees, and even then they send Noguri assassins after her, and she uses her lightsaber to defend herself. She knows that the Jedi training is there to help protect her and her unborn children, because Luke can't be there 100% of the time. Han Solo can't be there. Chewbacca can't be there. At the end of the day, the last line of defense is her. She's the only one that can protect herself. You know, when everyone's gone, who else do you have to depend on? So she embraces the training. She, you know, doesn't get to do it as much as Luke because she's busy trying to put the government back together, because in the remnants of the Empire, you have to rebuild. After one government falls, you gotta fix it. You gotta pick up the pieces. Not everything's gonna fall back together perfectly. So just the fact that they don't even understand that, or her character. I'm not even like not even three sentences in, guys, and they've already failed. If that's the way that they think, come on. Leia is intelligent. Leia would know that learning more about the Force, knowledge is power. The more she knows about the Force, the more powerful she'll be. Why would she give that up? Makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, Leia knows how to shoot a blaster, but we can go talk about Game of Thrones again. Khaleesi fell off the dragon. All of the undead are coming at her. She doesn't have anyone there to protect her. She's gonna freaking die. If Jorah didn't show up last minute, she would have died. That's one thing. These, you know, Leia's a princess. Yeah, she knows a little bit of how to defend herself, but to defend yourself like a Jedi, to have these, you know, untapped powers, all that potential. She has Anakin's blood flowing through her veins. She was a Skywalker. She's got Skywalker blood within her. Let her learn the Force. She would know just the potential is, you know, off the charts with how powerful, how many things all the possibilities that she could do. Leia is smart. Leia would have embraced it. She would have not just given up, I'm pregnant. She wouldn't have pulled a Padme. I'm pregnant. I'm just going to sit in my apartment and cry the whole movie. Yeah, I know Padme was dealing with a lot of other stuff that bothered me to no end. And, you know, it's okay, the complete tangent, but there was a point to it. There was a point. Pregnant with the son. My source on this mentioned a fight, so I believe that we might be getting Leia and Luke in a lightsaber duel toward the beginning of the film. Okay, that doesn't... Luke... They wouldn't fight like that. Yes, siblings fight. I know firsthand. Siblings fight. Anyone that has a sibling, you will understand siblings fight. Heck, I have cats and a dog. They're all siblings. Yeah, you know, my dog's not like other dogs, you know, they all get along, but they're siblings too. They have their own little, you know, little baby fights. Of course, they're not intending to hurt each other, but siblings fight all the time. That's not out of the normal. I wouldn't expect either of them to be fighting out of malice. Yeah, you know, it just, you expect me to watch Luke and Leia have a fight and expect, like, Leia to kill Luke or Luke to kill Leia? No, that this is just going to be, you know, maybe somebody has a little mental breakdown for a second. And with the way it's going, it'll probably be Luke, because I don't see them, you know, with Carrie, what happened with her passing, I don't see them trying to, you know, make her character go in that direction. And with the way that they're going with, men are bad, especially white men, let's destroy Luke's character even more. That's exactly what they would do. And with knowing everything about Luke Skywalker, how level-headed he is, and then how diplomatic Leia is, this wouldn't happen. If anything, it would just be a verbal argument, and, you know what, aggressive negotiations is the Star Wars terminology for it, but without, you know. So that's the first leak. Picking up on the current point in the timeline, Leia appears to have taken up the mantle of Jedi mentor to Rey in the wake of Luke's passing. Alright, so somehow they all know Luke died, even though he was a projection, and he was on the planet, and he disappeared. So somehow they all know he died. So somehow, nobody was there. As far as we know, Luke and Leia don't do the, you know, Jedi Force telephone thing. Nobody could know, but apparently they know. But maybe it was one of Leia's, like, sensing things, even though, you know, apparently Luke in, you know, episode 5, he could feel when Han Solo was being tortured, but in, you know, The Last Jedi, Luke had absolutely no feeling that Han Solo was dead. But, you know, that's just out the window around the corner to infinity and beyond with the lack thereof logic. But apparently they are all aware of Luke's death. Note, this will likely concede with the scene from the D23 first look where Rey throws her lightsaber at a training remote and cuts down a tree. Alright, cool. That was very anticlimactic. Early on in the film, we can catch up with Kylo's story where he is slaughtering, and that's in quotations, slaughtering people with the purpose of tracking down one of the film's MacGuffins a device known as a Wayfinder. Oh joy. So last one they had the code breaker guy that was on that stupid waste of a time planet. Now they are looking for a Wayfinder. Apparently nobody has GPS. Apparently nobody has force senses. And apparently nobody knows how to do any research to find things on their own. They need a Wayfinder. But whatever. Let's see. What else could it possibly be? I am told that the clip of Kylo body slamming someone into the floor of a forest bathed in red light seen in the teaser. I am also told that this planet is called Exol. Don't quote me on the spelling. Well, yeah, I'm probably not even pronouncing it correctly. Kylo obtains the Wayfinder from the Oracle and finds it to contain coordinates to a point in the unknown regions. The Wayfinder that Kylo was given once belonged to his grandfather, Darth Vader. So they're bringing Vader back again. Darth Vader is my favorite character, so I'm a sucker for Darth Vader. When I saw his destroyed mask, I'm like, well, that is not the way things would melt properly, but logic and science. J.J. Abrams has no respect for either. And so yeah. We will see how maybe they'll do a flashback with Vader, and you know they can have Vader merch even though they don't want any of that because apparently there's some kind of rights deal with George Lucas. Love you, George Lucas. Thank you for creating this amazing franchise, and I'm so sorry that it is being dragged through the gutter and being ripped apart for everything, and it's just awful. But all right, so they belong to Anakin. A map to the unknown regions. Alright, what else could it possibly be? Using the coordinates found within the Wayfinder device, Kylo arrives in the unknown regions. Here, Kylo encounters Emperor Palpatine. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, Emperor Palpatine, he's still alive! He is still alive! Because apparently, the entire arc with Anakin, we had, Luke Skywalker on his, hero's journey to become a Jedi Knight. He throws his lightsaber, says, no, I will not turn to the dark side. I am a Jedi like my father before me. And then he would rather die than turn to the dark side. And seeing that love and that sacrifice that his son has, Vader finally throws Palpatine and, sacrifices himself to kill the Emperor, to save his son, and comes back from the dark side and becomes Anakin Skywalker again. That entire arc, we got the prequels to show how Darth Vader became Darth Vader, how Anakin Skywalker went on that hero's journey, and instead of going one way into the light side, he chose another path into the dark side, becomes Darth Vader. We see his arc finally finished in Return of the Jedi, or if you're like me and you watch the originals first, then you got to see the prequels, and it's like, oh, that's how Darth Vader became Darth Vader. But he finishes that arc, he accomplishes his goal, he brings balance to the Force by destroying the Emperor, and apparently all that was for nothing, because the dude lived, and Luke became a bum on an island that gave up on everything. Leia was a horrible parent to her son, so apparently it was Han Solo. Everything that Anakin did was for nothing. For freaking nothing. That's what these movies did. Everything that happened, let the past die. Well, shh. They're like, you know what, let's let the past, let's take everything that meant something, let's light it on fire, let's, throw some booze on it, let's make sure the fire gets bigger, let's let it burn, and then, let's pee on it, let's do everything, and then we'll take it and be like, oh, you like this? Nobody cares. Haha, you're, a racist, misogynistic man, baby, because you're pissed that we did all of that to the thing that you loved. And guess what? We don't care, because we're going to show you all this new stuff. And if you don't like it, you're a horrible person. And that's what they did. And now guess what? They're bringing back the Emperor, guys. They are bringing back the freaking Emperor. Emperor Palpatine? Dude, you got no empire? Well, I guess now the First Order? Apparently, bro, you're coming back, and they're going to milk you for all you're worth, and you might become lame. You might not be a badass anymore. You might not be scary. This when I first saw the Emperor, he's just a projection, a hologram over Vader, and, you see Vader, who's the guy that he doesn't care what your rank is. He will choke you. He will freaking kill you on the spot. This dude that has absolutely no remorse for blowing up a planet, no remorse for torturing, no remorse for killing somebody that he knew his entire life. Obi-Wan, his old master, for cutting off his son's hand. Oh, he's afraid of this old dude, and then you see the old dude's powers, like, oh my God. Everything, all the fear, all the evil, like, malicious intent that the Emperor had that, made him such a great villain, probably gonna be gone. They don't care. Probably nothing. It's not gonna be scary anymore. It's not gonna be the Emperor. It's gonna be like a shell of the Emperor. What else? How Palpatine is still alive? Yeah, how the hell did he survive that? Not only did he get picked up by Darth Vader probably squeezed him. He had metal hands. I'm pretty sure his robot hands could, just crumble your bones. So take that into account. Also, he got the Force, lightning going through him with the metal that probably intensified when it touched his skin. And if you ever, accidentally electrocuted yourself, just like, when you brush up against somebody and it shocks you, that kind of shocks your body. Imagine all of those volts of electricity going through you with the metal intensified by Darth Vader's, metal hands. I know he had gloves and everything, but conductivity and all that stuff. Getting thrown down while you're being electrocuted down that, the freaking trench tunnel thingy into the core of the Death Star, falling down all of that, then the ship exploding. Somehow somehow he survived. Somehow, what the hell are they gonna explain? Everything that got built up. And apparently he's just been doing some whatever, not getting revenge, which is very unlike the Emperor and his powers, but what the hell? What the heck, man? Just screw it. What the hell else could happen? How Palpatine is still alive and how he ended up in the unknown regions is still a mystery to me. Yet, everyone. That I hope to learn more about in the next few months. Note, Daisy Ridley recently said in an interview that it's explained in the film. Alrighty then, well guess what? They told us that we were going to get an explanation as to why Luke Skywalker was in a planet and didn't speak the entire movie, the first movie of the sequel trilogy, The Force Awakens. Did we get that explanation? We got a half-assed one. Did it, answer any of our questions? Absolutely not. Did it make any sense? Absolutely not. So I'm assuming that is what we are going to get. But let's continue reading this. I just want to warn everyone, there are a lot more paragraphs, and I keep getting, off. Well, I'm still on the topic, but if this is just, the first couple paragraphs, it's going to be a long ride. I just want to warn everyone right now. Let's keep going, though. We're going to pull through this ridiculousness. What else could it possibly come up with? But my source on this tells me that this is indeed Palpatine in the flesh. Alrighty then. Kylo and Palpatine's conversation apparently centers around ordering Kylo to find Rey and bring her to the Emperor with the goal of turning her to the dark side. He's failed twice. He has failed twice at this. You want to send this little sissy boy to, the only reason Kylo killed his dad is because Han Solo let him. Yeah, it's because Harrison Ford didn't want to play Han Solo anymore. I think that they should. Disney's got a lot of money. Throw it at him. Just be like, you know what, bro? We're gonna up this by a couple mil, so that way maybe a couple $100 million, so that way we can pay Harrison Ford to keep playing Han Solo, because that would have been great. But he didn't want to, so there's nothing we can do about that. And after seeing these new movies, I respect him more. I had so much. It's not like I didn't respect Harrison Ford. I respect the man, to infinity and beyond. He's Indiana Jones, Han Solo, so many other characters. But I would have liked to see him more because I love Han Solo, and I want to see those characters. I understand the reasoning behind it. But come on, this little sissy only killed his dad because he let him. If Han Solo fought back, if Han Solo didn't want to die in that moment, wouldn't happen. Kylo Ren's a little bitch. Just saying. Freaking awful character. I don't know why people like him. But my source on the Palpatine in the flesh, turning to the dark side. Yeah, it's really... You're going to turn Rey to the dark side. Little Miss Mary Sue herself is one who shows absolutely no, inkling. Nothing about her character shows she's anything but too nice. You know, she doesn't even, like, get irritated with people. It's so, you know, unrealistic for, you know, even Princess Leia. She was, you know, ethereal. She was, you know, the command, the second she was there, she held her ground against Grand Moff Tarkin, against Darth Vader. She watched her planet explode, and did she break? No. What happened when she's getting rescued? She's throwing shade at Han Solo. She's getting frustrated. They're, you know, in the middle of escaping the Death Star from Stormtroopers with, you know, the odds are not in their favor. She shows, you know, her flusteredness. She shows that, you know, yeah, she's not going to be like, oh my goodness, you're saving me. No, she's going to shoot her blaster, be like, into the freaking garbage chute. We got to get out of here. And then there's in the trash compactor, she's screaming at Han Solo. She's screaming at Chewbacca. She's like, get this walking carpet out of my way. Not everything about Princess Leia is a redeeming quality, because she's like a normal freaking person that in a tough situation, she shows that she can get stressed. She shows that she can lose her temper. Again, real freaking person. Rey? I've never flown a Millennium Falcon before, and I just knew how to do all that. Oh my gosh, man, don't hold my hand. Don't hold my hand. Oh, a second later, oh, it's okay. Really? You killed Han Solo. It's okay. Next movie. I know that you don't have to be on the dark side. You can come with me. Really? You just watched the dude kill your father figure in the last movie, and now you're okay with him? What the Force telephone? Come on. Unrealistic. Let's move on. Moving on. Next paragraph. My source specifically mentioned that Palpatine is very old and decrepit at this point. Well, no freaking really. He's like 120. Possibly on the verge of death. Again, he's on the verge of death. He already died! A little bit of Googling reveals that Palpatine is thought to have been born around 80 BBY, making him the neighborhood of 113 years old by the events of the Rise of Skywalker. Alright, so I wasn't too off. 113 years old, huh? And he's still kicking after everything, after being electrocuted, after being thrown down the damn trench thing, through a Death Star that exploded. He's still kicking, huh? You really want me to believe that? There are like 100 other villains that you could have used, and you had to use the Emperor. You could have even used the whole Luke faked Darth Vader's death so that way Anakin could go live his life. And maybe that Force ghost was just Anakin learned how to project himself, and that on Endor, Luke burned Darth Vader's suit so that way everyone that went to the gravesite would get the proof that Darth Vader was actually dead. And, you know, instead, you know, maybe Darth Vader on the ship, Darth Vader had a spare suit, and so they burned one, but, you know, he left with another one. Maybe he changed his mask up a bit. You know, that could have been a really interesting thing, and he's still, you know, he's still living his life, because Anakin wasn't that old when he, you know, had Luke and Leia, when Luke and Leia was born. Anakin wasn't that old. He was in his 20s. You know, so that means he was in his, you know, 40s, and when the original series was taking place, he wasn't like an old man. He wasn't like in his 70s, and, you know, he would be, you know, hundreds. No, he what is this, 30 years? So now he's in his 70s. You could have old man Darth Vader, and that could be why. That maybe Luke trusted it to Ben, and that's why Ben turned to the dark side, because Anakin is still alive, you know, and maybe Anakin reverted back to being Darth Vader. Maybe he's got Alzheimer's or something, so he doesn't remember being Anakin because he spent, you know, half of his life being Darth Vader, and he reverted back to the dark side. Maybe he just couldn't live with all the misery that he caused people, with, you know, the visions of Padme, with, you know, now knowing that his children were alive and that he failed as, well, he didn't fail as a father because he failed at his fatherly duties, but his kids still turned out great. And maybe it's Anakin that's doing all this. Do you know how many people would have flipped their freaking shit if that happened? And, you know, Anakin's already turned to the dark side once. He came back. He's a very, you know, conflicted human being. That would have made more sense than having freaking Palpatine come back. Are you kidding me? And then that could be the explanation with Rey. Maybe Anakin tried to attempt to have another life. Maybe he, tried to get married again. Maybe he tried to have kids. Maybe he tried to do the whole father thing again. That's not uncommon for people to do, especially, after having such a broken life and trying to start a new one. That could explain why Rey is so powerful. That could explain how she's related to all of them. How your parents left her on a planet because they're like, oh shit, grandpa or dad decided to lose his freaking shit again. Gotta ditch you here so we can't find you. There you go. I just solved all of the freaking problems for them right there. But guess what? No, they're not even gonna do it. Well, let's see. What else is this? 113 years old. No logic out the window, around the corner to infinity and beyond. His goal into luring, I can't even speak. Luring, I cannot say this damn word. I do not know it. Luring, there we go. Kylo to him and converting Rey into the darkness is more or less to have Rey and Kylo inherit his new empire and from then rule it together. How does he have a new empire? How is this man that everyone is thought to be dead somehow have a new empire? I don't understand that. How? Where did he get the resources? Where did he get the people to follow him? He spent years getting his little grimy fingers in the Republic and rising through the ranks and manipulating people to get, to the spot of Chancellor and then becoming the Emperor. He stabbed a lot of people in the back. He was a conniving, sneaky politician, and he got what he wanted. Years! That took him years to do. Almost an entire lifetime. It's not like he was young in the prequels. You're telling me that this dude now has a new empire and people followed him after knowing about the other empire? Are you kidding me? That is, again, logic out the window, around the corner to infinity and beyond. In order to facilitate about this new empire, Palpatine has spent his 30 years PTO creating a fleet of Death Star destroyers. Where the hell did he get the money and the people and the resources to do that? Note, I don't know if this is their actual name or not. Personally, I hope not. It's a bit on the nose. Yeah, pretty much. Which appear to be exactly what they sound like. Star destroyers with Death Star tech mounted onto them, giving them the capability to destroy a planet. Note, apparently, once this particular technology was unleashed 30 some odd years ago, that Pandora's box can't be shut again. According to my source, the Star Destroyers make up the Sith Fleet and that house the new red Sith Troopers that were showcased at San Diego Comic-Con in July. Note, I wrote this prior to the First Order look being shown, and the fleet has since been confirmed. It's comprised of Imperial Star Destroyers hiding in the unknown regions, and we see what appears to be their planet-destroying capabilities during this reel. Alright, let me just put a little pin to that real fast. All these people that are freaking out about the red Stormtroopers, guess what? They've been around for a while now. I know, because I am one of the only people on this planet that watch Star Wars Resistance. And everyone keeps asking me when I'm going to do the final. Guys, my brain cannot take it right now. I have had too much shit happen in my real life with my family. My ability to stay sane is hanging in there on a tiny little shred. If I watch that stupid show one more time, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. But to everyone else in the world that doesn't watch that show, congratulations, you are saving yourself so many brain cells. But guess what? Red freaking Stormtroopers, they've been in that show. I call them Cherry. For all the people, the wonderful, wonderful people that watch my Star Wars Resistance reviews, like, religiously, thank you so much. I appreciate you, like, to my very core. The only reason I do that is because people continue to ask me to do it. So I appreciate that. And you all know, Cherry, the red Stormtrooper, that's his name, that's what I call him, Cherry. He's been around before they announced it at San Diego Comic-Con. So for all those people, it was just announced, it's this big deal. It's been around for a while. I know, because I've been dealing with that stupid, pointless stuff. Guess what? They also got a gold one. They got a gold Stormtrooper. I bet people are going to lose their freaking minds when that comes around too. I call him Goldie. He's in the freaking show too. Nothing new there. It's stupid. It's pointless. Oh, the red Stormtroopers. First off, you would think that all these planets, okay, the Death Star was introduced, okay, the timeline, that was 30 years ago, and if you actually do the original series where there's like in 3-year intervals, okay, so it's like 36 years ago, the technology for destroying a planet is out there. Wouldn't you think that the planets came up with shields to protect against planet-destroying spaceships? I know that they did, because guess what? They did in the expanded universe. The one of the planets, and if you read the Hand of Thrawn duology, which I love, I always tell everyone those are my favorite out of the expanded universe novels that I've read so far. One of the big things, they're trying to find these documents, the Hamas documents, because guess what? Some Bothans, they don't explain who, because it causes all these internal problems with the planet, and especially since the Bothans are trying to redeem themselves. But Bothans got the codes to the planet shield and gave it to the Empire, and the Empire destroyed Hamas, and the planet got destroyed. Alderaan got destroyed, Hamas got destroyed, and I think, well, I'm blanking on the other one. But, so, they created shields, guys. So they're shields to the planet. So, just because, oh, there's a fleet of all of these spaceships, they opened Pandora's box, well, guess what? When people invented a sword, another person was like, oh, somebody's gonna hit me with that sword. I'm gonna get something to protect myself. I'm gonna get a shield. Not an uncommon thing. If you play video games, if you play any type of game, there's always a way to protect yourself. Anything in real life. Oh, you're driving a car. Okay, well, if another car comes and hits you, guess what? You have doors for that. You got all this metal protection. Somebody invented this thing called a gun. Guess what? Another great person invented, bulletproof armor. There is a thing called, defense. There's an attack, and then there's an offense. You think by this time, 30 years in the future, someone was like, oh, that's a pretty big problem. This technology to blow through a planet, not a single person in this gigantic galaxy, not a single one was like, maybe we should invent shields for our planet, guys. Maybe that should be a top priority, especially, on planets that have a lot of really important political figures that, the governments cannot run if they die, or, maybe just our own planets. We kind of need those damn things. So, somebody, you're telling me not a single person came up with a shield idea? They have them for X-Wings, but, they don't have them for planets? Logic! Out the window, around the corner, to infinity and beyond! With everything that Disney comes up with. And again, this is why I say, you need somebody that knows Star Wars. You need somebody that's actually seen Star Wars. You need somebody that knows how to write. You need, somebody that has read everything, that knows everything about the lore of Star Wars. Maybe somebody like George Lucas. And you have them, and you guys, they all sit in a room, and maybe the director's like, or somebody that's in charge is like, I want A, B, and C to happen. And they all get together like, okay, this is how we can get to it in the most interesting way, in how it fits within the rules of the universe, of the galaxy, and then the lore person that's going around checking to make sure everything's right, and it's like, hey, maybe we should throw these cool things in, and then you come in at the end and do all the special effects to make everything look pretty, whereas JJ does things just to make things look pretty. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool, throw that in there. Oh, the Emperor, yeah, people like him, throw that in there. It's like, this isn't paper mache. This is Star Wars. This is serious. People take these things very, very, very seriously. As you can see here on YouTube. As you can see with everything that's going on with Disney. As you can see why Star Wars was so big for 40 freaking years until Disney took over. Just saying, guys. Let's get back to this stupid nonsense. Where the Emperor got all this? Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Will it get explained? Probably not. Enough about Rey and Kylo. Thank freaking goodness. Let's get back to the rest of the Resistance. Do we have to? Apparently, we catch up with Finn and Poe, returning to the jungle planet depicted in some of the behind-the-scenes images shown at Celebration. I did get to see that. They introduced some stupid slug type alien. It's like, oh, it's a new alien. Here's this little droid. I was like, that's going to be a toy. That might be a stuffed animal. That's the new Jar. Well, Jessi actually called it. She was like, that's banana slug thing. That's the new Jar Jar. And I was like, yeah, probably 100% agree with you. But Jungle Planet depicted in some of the behind-the-scenes images shown at Celebration, and if I can find those on my phone, I will edit them in so you guys can see them at the end of this video. The duo has been in contact with an informant from within the First Order. The mole has told Finn and Poe about Kylo coming to possession of the Wayfinder. Note, it's unclear to me if anyone in the Resistance understands what the Wayfinder is or where it leads. They just want to find it. Kind of like Canto Bite, right? Right? Alright. Poe and Finn tell Leia about this, and she sends Rey, Chewbacca, C-3PO, and the other droid, that's probably the new one that they introduced at Star Wars Celebration, and other droids to accompany them on the mission. In order to get them going on their quest, Leia puts them in contact with someone on Pasaana, the desert planet filmed in Jordan. So that was the one that in my reaction video, I said looked a lot like John Carter. Let's see. It's at this point in the story where the Resistant team makes their way to the desert planet seen in the teaser and behind the scenes footage. It's revealed that Leia's contact is Lando Calrissian. Oh, really? Oh, really? You think we didn't figure that one out? Lando points them toward another one of our MacGuffins, a Sith artifact that apparently turns out to be a dagger. This dagger has some sort of writing on it that C-3PO can't decipher. 6 billion forms of communication, and he can't decipher this one. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Anakin Skywalker, the little boy Anakin, that programmed C-3PO, that was interested in the Jedi, that taught when he met Qui-Gon, he's like, oh my god, you're a Jedi. Nobody can kill a Jedi. And then he had C-3PO with him. When he went to Coruscant, when he was training as a Jedi, you're telling me that Anakin never once programmed C-3PO with Sith or Jedi stuff? They don't say anything about Jedi, but I'm assuming it all coincides. You're telling me he doesn't know this? 6 billion forms of communication, and he doesn't know this one? Alright, don't believe that for a second, but whatever. And you're telling me that C-3PO, who, the Ewoks, he wasn't some random planet, is Endor, a moon, he knew what the natives of that planet, that nobody even knew what they were, or had, contact with them, he knew how to speak their language because it was kind of based on another language, because sometimes languages they're similar, there's similarities. I mean, you can just look at our own damn planet. You're telling me that C-3PO doesn't know a language that somehow resembles this, that this language is just miraculously not related to any other language? I don't believe that for a second. Note, my source understands this to be a Sith language. That description is pretty vague for me, but the key point is sound. Heroes find dagger writing has dagger has writing on it that C-3PO can't read. You're telling me with all the technology in this universe, you're telling me with all the billions of forms of communication, you're telling me with all the computer programs that they have in this world, C-3PO doesn't know it. That there's no technology there that knows it. I don't believe that for a single freaking second. Alright. My computer's kind of glitching, so I'm going to stop this and see if it actually saves this video, and I will be back in a second. Alright, sorry about that glitch, but let's get back to it. Alright, it's during our hero's time on Pasaana that Kylo initiates a force mind link between himself and Rey. Through their connection, Kylo discovers where Rey and the Resistance crew are and leaves to pursue them. Eventually, Kylo and the Knights of Ren arrive and bring to attack our heroes. One thing leads to another, and the Resistance crew gets outnumbered, and they are forced to make their escape on an old ship, leaving the Millennium Falcon behind. Kylo recovers the Falcon and takes it back to his Star Destroyer. Alright, so never in the history of Star Wars did they ever, just abandon the Millennium Falcon, except for off-screen in between the original series and the new sequel series. Apparently, Han Solo got lazy and just stopped caring about the Millennium Falcon, which is completely out of character for him. And then excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups. All those people that are like, well, if you read the books, the new Star Wars books are absolute shit. Why the hell would I waste my time? And if you had to explain your movie from a book, that means your writing wasn't good enough in the movie to explain it, and so people had to make books to fix the damn problems. So, that wouldn't have been a problem if it was explained in the movie, but it wasn't. It wasn't. And if you have to use outside source material to make your material, to fix your material, shows the flaw right there. But, alright, so apparently, for some reason, they decided to abandon the Millennium Falcon, the fastest damn ship, for whatever else. I mean, maybe they finally got more people. Maybe there's more than 10 of them, and they needed a bigger ship. But, doesn't make sense if they would abandon the Falcon, but whatever. Let's carry on, because there is no logic in this whatsoever. As previously mentioned, C-3PO is confronted with a challenge he is not equipped to handle. The artifact found on Pisana contains a language that C-3PO can translate without modifications. In order to modify C-3PO, C-3PO's programming, Poe brings the team to the wintry planet seen in the teaser, Kaijimi. Per the Vanity Fair article, we all know how that article went. Everything was photoshopped. I actually never made a video about that. I think I will. I think this week I will make a video about the horrible Vanity Fair photoshops to, trick people about Luke Skywalker being in this movie, and it was literally all just used from prior pictures, and everyone's like, we all know how to use Photoshops, or at least not Photoshop editing apps. We all saw right through that. So, yeah, maybe I should make a video about that. I totally forgot to. But, that will be coming out later. But, yeah, so, another winter planet. How freaking original. They tried to do that with Crate. This is the chance to, like, literally you have unlimited amounts of creations that you could do, and you just go back to the same old things. Like, come on. Be original. Create something cool. Like, stop ripping off everything that you want, that you claim to want to get rid of. Stop ripping it off. But whatever. I mean, this is Sith. This is a Sith language. That's why C-3PO can't read it. Why don't you build a Sith temple? Like, why don't you say, oh, you can only find the knowledge to unlock a Sith language at a Sith temple. We have to go to this dangerous place. Let's take C-3PO to the Sith temple. They're all about doing all of this so that way they can make money off of it, right? They're all about the merchandising. They're all about, oh, well, let's go to the new Star Wars land at Disneyland and Disney World. Why don't you build a Sith temple? Then you can build it at your freaking theme parks. Do you know how many toys you could make? Heck, I got some behind me of the freaking ships. You know that they used to make like little micro action figures with little micro sets? I got one of the Death Stars right behind me. I don't think you can see it on camera. But, I mean, you could do that of a Sith temple. And you have to, there's dangerous stuff in the temples. Maybe there's booby traps. You wanted to, mimic the Indiana Jones stuff in The Force Awakens with Harrison Ford. You got freaking Poe dressed up like Indiana Jones in the damn pictures in the trailer. Alright, have to take C-3PO to the Sith temple, and then it's all booby trap like the Temple of freaking Doom, and you gotta run through it. You can even do, like, the opening scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark where Indiana Jones is on that mission getting the little thing going through the temple. That would be cool. You could do that a ride at Disneyland, since that's all they care about is making these things so they can make money off of it. There you go. But no, let's go to another winter planet, because that's original, because that's a great idea. Oh my god, this is... Jesus. There, C-3PO is modified to allow translation of the artifact. For some reason on this wintry planet, somebody knows how to decipher the Sith language. Not at the Sith temple, but here, apparently. I'm told that the modification is done by a small alien, possibly the one pictured in image of my post from 6 months ago. I am not 100% sure on that, but confident enough in who told me that I am willing to put it out there. Okay. Once the translation dagger supposedly reveals information regarding a second Wayfinder, this one having belonged to Emperor Palpatine himself, leading the team to journey to the forest moon of Endor. Lovely. Alright, so now we're going back to Endor, guys. The Ewoks are coming back. C-3PO is going to be a god again. Let's see how that goes. Note, my sources tell me that scenes from the first look reel showing C-3PO with red eyes connects to this event. The red eyes are part of the hack that allows him to translate the Sith language. Oh, okay, cool. Sith equals bad, which means everything must be red. That has absolutely nothing to do, you know, with the crystals or, you know, the Sith energy. Well, apparently droids can channel Sith energy now. Alright, alright. During events leading to the modification of C-3PO on the wintry planet, Kylo initiates another Force connection between he and Rey. Kylo supposedly uses this as an opportunity to begin forcing Rey down the path of darkness. Bro, you couldn't... The Path of Darkness, that actually sounds like a title. Like, we have The Rise of Skywalker, or Star Wars, The Path of Darkness. Like, come on. I mean, both of those sound like extreme sexual innuendos, but, come on. Oh my gosh, my animals are going crazy right now. I always have nobody can see my animals, but they're always here messing up with stuff on the floor. Let's see. He does this by antagonizing Rey. Kylo tells her that he knows about the dagger and that what it once was used for. Kylo apparently tells her that this dagger was used to murder Rey's parents. Kylo maintains that her parents are nobodies in the grand story. This angers Rey and she lashes out at Kylo and a lightsaber duel ensues. Oh, okay, so wait a second. They're on a Force call. How are you going to fight with a lightsaber on a Force Skype call? Like, well, I know that in the scene that, oh, she was standing next to water, and then Kylo's hand, you know, he had, like, water on his glove. But what's the point of having a Force duel? And honestly, Kylo, why the hell are you antagonizing this woman that's beat you already twice? Why? She's already beat you, bro. She beat you when she first picked up a lightsaber and had her first lightsaber battle. You're gonna antagonize the woman that's beat you, that's naturally, you know, just knows how to do everything. They tell her, oh, a Force ability lifting rocks. All of a sudden, she can lift every single rock that she sees. She's never even heard of a Jedi mind trick, but all of a sudden, without any training whatsoever, she knows how to do it. You're telling me that you're gonna antagonize this woman? Not a very smart move. And also, okay, so is it one of those things where, like in the Matrix, if you get killed in the Matrix, it messes with your mind, so you think that you die? So is that what the stakes are gonna be with this Force Skype call lightsaber duel? Because right now I'm not convinced that what's the point of having a Force lightsaber battle? It's just like, why would you even come? It's like you're on a phone call. It's like, how are you gonna have a damn freaking lightsaber battle over a Skype call? It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic between this. I mean, even the characters within this own universe would find things like this ridiculous. Like, come on. That makes absolutely no sense. Oh my god. Kylo apparently killed her father. Rey lashes out at Kylo and a lightsaber duel ensues. Rey is on Kaijimi, and Kylo is on his Star Destroyer. According to my sources, no flashes of any additional locations are seen during this fight, possibly in the film at all, but we'll see. Rin keeps the Link alive long enough to learn Rey's location and eventually pursues her in the Star Destroyer like before. Alright, so again, fight was completely pointless. How is either of them going to win? It is a Skype Force call. Zori Bliss is introduced sometime during their time on this planet. Alright, no idea who that she is. Maybe that's either an alien or that's the chick that has the weird helmet. No, my sources told me that she has a history with Poe prior to the Kessel, my dyslexia did not bode me well right there. Prior to Carrie Russell saying the same thing on an interview days ago. What his history may be is still a mystery. Oh, what this history may be is still a mystery to me right now. Once Kylo arrives, our gang of heroes decide to sneak aboard and attempt to recover the Falcon prior to leaving. The rescue plan goes awry and the whole group gets captured by the First Order. Of course it does. Of course it does. Who on earth? Who thought that was a good idea? Also, the only way the Millennium Falcon, even in the New Hope, got in was because it got pulled in by the tractor beam. You're telling me that there's no security on a Star Destroyer, that you can literally just walk in and get the Falcon? Oh my god, this is probably Rose's idea. Oh my god. Let's see. It's at this point that two major things happen. One, It is revealed that Hux is the First Order mole that has been feeding the Resistance information, and he allows the heroes to escape while Kylo is distracted by dueling with Rey in person. Okay, so now they fight again in person now. Alright, so I was right. If you guys ever watch EFAP, Mahler and all the guys, they have this question, like, which character is going to, like, be the most inconsistent? I believe I said it was Hux, but I wasn't asked on the show. It was on a different stream. I think it was it was during one of the Game of Thrones streams. I don't remember whose channel it was on, but I think I said Hux. I'm pretty sure I did, but everyone that guessed Hux is right. Everyone that guessed anyone is going to be right, because none of these characters are going to be consistent, but yeah, this is ridiculous. So Hux is now a mole. Hux who hated everyone. Hux, for some reason, maybe he's pissed because Kylo lived and Kylo's trying to boss him around. He's like, screw you, dude. I'm gonna go help your mom. I mean, if he's doing that, that might be a little bit in character, but still makes absolutely no sense. Number 2. During this duel, Kylo adds another wrinkle into Rey's backstory. He maintains while her parents are nobody, her grandparents, more specifically her grandfather, wasn't. Kylo tells Rey that she is the granddaughter of Palpatine. Dun-dun-dun-dun. She's the granddaughter of Palpatine. Whip-de-freaking-do. No one cares. This explains his interest in bringing the random nobody from Jakku into the fold. The crew recovers the Falcon. Rey reconnects with them, and they all flee. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. My baby wants to say hi. No kidding. Alright. Following her battle aboard the Star Destroyer and escape on the Falcon, Rey uses the newly gleaned information resulting from 3CPO's modifications and the translation of the dagger to travel to Endor. At this time, it's a little unclear to me how Kylo gets from point A to point B. That's literally every single thing in this. Like, whose mindset was like, oh, this doesn't make any sense, let's do it. Oh my god, cat! I'm sorry that this is one of the problems with having animals in my studio. Give me a second to fix this. Sorry, guys. I am so sorry about that, but that is one of the things about having animals. They tend to get curious and get into things. But back to this. Alright. It is unclear. It's a little unclear to me how Kylo gets from point A to point B. I read the part already. I just wanted to reiterate. But supposedly he is waiting for Rey in Palpatine's throne room aboard the wreckage of the second Death Star. Alrighty, lovely. Apparently he can travel faster than they can. Apparently he can get to places before Rey does. Lovely. Note, I assume he knows the location of the second Wayfinder due to his newfound connection to Palpatine. But that's just a speculation on my part. I think it's most important to note that Kylo may have been there before, considering that he had the charred helmet of Vader in The Force Awakens. Yes, that it wouldn't surprise me if Luke took Leia to where he burned their father's body, where he, burned Darth Vader on Endor. Maybe that was a thing that they would come and visit as a family to see it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the galaxy wanted to see, where, to make sure that Darth Vader was dead and would come to go see that. So that wouldn't surprise me at all that, Ben would have known where to go get Darth Vader's helmet. I feel like they would have built something around it for vandalism and, grave robbers like Ben, because Ben apparently doesn't have any respect for the dead. He thinks it's okay to steal his grandfather's helmet from his grave, but, that's beside the point. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he knew. I'm would be super surprised if nobody, tried to harvest any of those parts or technology. I mean, freaking look at Rey on Jakku. She was still harvesting stuff from not from the Death Star, from Star Destroyers. You're telling me that all of that's still intact? Apparently, if it's accessible, that Kylo can just randomly go into the throne room? Okay, so they're gonna bring back the throne room? Oh, joy. Oh, joy. The destroyed throne room. It's like, I feel like everything is just a metaphor for everything that we loved. Oh, this thing you loved, we're going to show it destroyed. We're just going to destroy it, and you're going to have to live with it. And, that's just how it is, because we're Disney. We can do whatever the hell we want. Let's see. Naturally, they fight. Lovely. Why are they fighting? She beats him every single time. What is the point of all this fighting? Is he getting better? Is he training more so that way he can beat this girl? That again, first time they ever fought, First time in her first lightsaber battle ever, she beats the villain of Star Wars, of the new Star Wars franchise. She beats him. First time. But he's still fighting her? Girl, just finish it. Just freaking finish the job. If anything, like, hey, take him prisoner. You beat him every single time. You know she's gonna beat him. This is so stupid and pointless. There's, like, no stakes to any of these battles. It's just JJ doing his, let me do some cool things. Let me show some lens flares, guys. That's all JJ cares about is, like, you know, visually appeasing images. That's it. The specifics of this duel are unknown to me, but what I have been told about this is that at this point, when Rey begins to tap into some hatred to gain the upper hand, she's beat him every single time. She doesn't need the upper hand. She doesn't need anger to beat him. She's naturally better at everything than he is. She didn't need to tap into any type of anger or resentment the first time. She used the Force and, you know, she channeled the love that she had for Han Solo, the desire for her to be a Jedi, and, you know, wanting to save Poe's life. A Jedi used their powers for knowledge and defense. She used her powers to defend Poe because Poe was knocked out. She didn't want him to die. She didn't want Kylo to kill him. She didn't want Kylo to kill her. She was defending herself and her friends. Come on. She doesn't need to use her hatred. She's already beat him. She beat him in the first freaking movie, in the first battle she ever got into with this dude. This is so stupid. Some hatred to gain the upper hand and eventually defeats Kylo. Again, she doesn't need to do any of that. If any of these people watch a Star Wars movie, they would know. If they watch their own damn movies, if JJ watched his own damn movie, he would know. Note, possibly destroying his lightsaber in the process. But that's more rumor than a leak at this moment. Well, good, because that lightsaber is completely stupid and pointless. I mean, you would cut your freaking hand off. Like, oh, the crossguard, let's have it go out like that. That's so stupid. Come on. I remember when that design came out in college and how everyone's doing the whole, oh, how Rey has that one lightsaber now and everyone's making it into, you know, a knife or a Swiss Army knife. I remember when the art was coming out for all of the Kylo Ren lightsabers. It's a completely, it's not a good design. It's not. It's lazy. All right, let's see. Leaving him for dead on the wreckage of the Death Star. Rey takes possession of Palpatine's Wayfinder and leaves. Okay, again, girl, you keep leaving this homeboy. Like you leave him. You leave him everywhere. You beat him on Starkiller Base. What does he do? He comes back. You left him in the Snoke's throne room. Guess what? He comes back. And he kills people. He's a psychopath. He killed his freaking dad. He's a very unstable human. And you just leave him. Like, why don't you just, like, kind of, you don't have to kill him. Because you want to be a good character. You want to be the good character. Okay. Take the lightsaber, maybe bash him on the back of the head with it. Make sure he knocks out. Maybe, you know, do the whole lift in rocks or, you know, lift in metal because you're so good at it. Maybe bend it around him so he's kind of locked in like a jail. Maybe let just kind of leave. Let the elements do his thing. Maybe if you knock him out, you know, you're on the Death Star from all the images that we see. It's over the water. Maybe leave him on the edge. That way, if like he breathes the wrong way or accidentally like snores too loudly because since he's knocked out, maybe he rolls over into the thing. Maybe drop him off at the Ewoks with absolutely no explanation. You know, they were ready to eat Han Solo. Maybe you're just like, oh, I'm trusting you guys to care with him. I trust your judgment on anything. Whatever you want to do. The Ewoks can have a little barbecue. There you go. There you go. No longer your problem, girl. You already beat the dude. You already beat him in every single fight you have. You don't need to tap into hatred. That's so stupid. If you leave him, he's just going to come back. Take him to a prison. Make sure that there's no possible way that this guy can come after you. Maybe even just do an Obi-Wan Kenobi thing. Maybe just, you know, kind of slice his legs off. That way he can't follow you. He can only crawl. What's the Emperor going to do? Is the Emperor going to come back and get him, give him some Darth Vader legs? Probably not. But, yeah, just leave him. Don't tell anyone where he is. There you go. Maybe leave him with you at barbecue time. Hey, maybe Yub Nub can come back. Yub Nub can make a comeback. They can have their freaking song. They can have a barbecue. They can finally have a little barbecue. C-3PO. Maybe you can let him stay there and chill. But yeah, she's just gonna keep coming back. This is so pointless. These characters do not learn, and neither do the people that write it. My sources. Excuse me. My sources tell me that the dark ray moment seen from the D23 footage is in fact a vision described to me as thematically similar to Luke seeing himself as Vader in the cave of Dagobah. Chances are it's not like that, because Luke was actually dealing with some internal struggles when that was going on. At that point, we didn't know that Darth Vader was Luke's father. Luke was afraid of turning to the dark side because guess what? He's not patient. He was too old to begin his training, like Yoda said. Luke doesn't have all of those, checklist qualities that Yoda was used to when training Jedi. And guess what? When they didn't follow those rules last time, Anakin turned into Darth Vader. Obi-Wan didn't listen to him. Qui-Gon didn't listen to him. He said the boy is too old to be trained. The boy has fear. The boy has anger. Those lead to the dark side. The boy, he loves his mother. His thoughts linger on his mother. He's afraid to lose her. Again, path to the dark side. Last time they didn't listen to Yoda, shit hit the fan. They didn't listen to Yoda again. Guess what? Luke's having those visions of going to the dark side, of, becoming his father. And that becomes even more symbolic when we find out that Darth Vader is Luke's father. And Luke's not just afraid of, becoming a bad guy, of a villain. He's afraid of following the footsteps of Vader. Yoda knew it. Obi-Wan knew it. Luke had to learn that little bit of information at the end of Empire Strikes Back to understand it. So you trying to compare this scene of Rey in a cloak with a lightsaber that was used from the Clone Wars. No, that's not trying to be symbolic. That's not trying to tell a story. That's not trying to help with her character arc. That is to sell merchandise. The more that you see of Disney, the more going to the parks or going to, any of their stores, you will see they put things in these movies to sell them for, what? That stupid ring from The Last Jedi that Rose left that orphan kid. Instead of saving the orphan kid, she gives him a ring. That ring's like $150 at Disneyland. These things are not meant to, they don't create them to mean anything. They put things in the movie to sell them. That's what that scene is. That it's not supposed to be meaningful. It's not going to help her character. It's for Raylowers to freak out and to go buy the stuff. That's what that was for. There's nothing in her character arc that needs her to even get to that point where she needs to join the dark side. Because guess what? She beats the villains every single time without even having to think in that mindset. You want to say, oh, Kylo antagonized her to get that way? Well, guess what? She beat him every single time before. This is so pointless, and I feel like I'm, sounding like a broken record, but everything that they're using as far as these plot points, if all of these leaks are true, it's completely debunkable. Let's continue. Right, similar to Luke. This apparently is a short sequence that happens right after Rey picks up Palpatine's Wayfinder. And again, they are breaking the lore of Star Wars. Apparently now, when you touch things, you have visions. Doesn't make any sense. Never was in Star Wars before, but apparently that's the thing. So you're telling me that Rey, who has no connection to Luke, no connection to Anakin, no connection to freaking Obi-Wan, when she picked up Anakin's lightsaber and she heard him speak, she saw all these flashes. You're telling me that when Obi-Wan handed Luke Skywalker Anakin's lightsaber, Luke didn't have any flashes of his father. Luke didn't see any of these scenes. That's right, because, that's not part of Star Wars. That's not, like Harrison Ford said, that's not how the Force works. They are breaking the lore because they do not understand the lore of Star Wars. They do not understand the universe that they are trying to work in. It's infuriating. But let's continue. While laying in the wreckage of the Death Star, weakened state, Kylo reportedly sees a vision of his father. Note, it's unclear to me if Han appears as a bona fide ghost or just through the magic of injury-induced hallucinations, but this interaction supposedly acts as Kylo's come-to-Jesus moment. Han tells Kylo that it's never too late to change, and when he leaves Endor, he leaves not as Kylo Ren, but as Ben. Okay. This is something that I have a hard time believing. I don't think Harrison Ford's going to come back to play Han Solo, even if it is in a limited thing. If you're going to do Force Ghosts, they'd probably do it with Luke. Out of Luke and Han Solo, I don't think at this point, following the rules of the rules of the character that we are given in this universe with Kylo Ren, everything that we have seen from his character, Luke cannot get through to him. Han Solo could not get through to him. The only person that Kylo seems to have any kind of respect or remorse for is his mother, is Leia. Chances are, and like if she is, on her deathbed and she's projecting to her son saying, here's your come to Jesus moment. They haven't spoken. She hasn't talked to him about how he killed his father or about, Luke force projecting and Luke dying. She hasn't spoken to him. If on her deathbed she goes to Kylo and she's like, I'm the only one left, Luke's gone, your father's gone, I'm about to go. They have that little heart-to-heart, he has his little epiphany, his come to Jesus moment, and then she dies. Chances are that's probably what they were going to do, because that's the only thing that makes sense. He had no remorse for killing his father, he had no remorse for fighting Luke, and the only time he did show any remorse or any hesitation was when Leia was on the ship. They have that little scene where he's looking, she's looking, and then he doesn't have the balls to shoot it, and somebody else comes and shoots it, and then, he has that pain because his mother could have potentially died. She's the only one that he hesitates with, that you can argue that he kind of hesitated with Han Solo, but I think that was for dramatic effect to drag it out. That was also J.J. Abrams doing the dramatic effect that everyone kind of knew, but he knew this, what he was doing. He wanted to kill his father. That was premeditated. That wasn't decided in the second. That was something he knew he needed to do to complete his training. Leia, on the other hand, chances are this was supposed to be a scene between him and Leia. We all know what happened with Carrie Fisher. She passed away before the filming could complete, so they had to settle for either Han Solo or Luke. I don't think Han Solo's coming back. I haven't seen any announcements of it. I mean, I would love to see Harrison Ford play Han Solo, but I don't know. I don't trust this at all. Last time I saw it, it was not, and this is not anything to Han Solo's performance, but it was a destruction of his character by saying that everything that we had seen him grow into was completely destroyed, and he reverted back to his original, which is not Han Solo. But whatever. Chances are this was supposed to be different, and then it was changed due to Carrie's death, because the only thing that would make sense would have been if it was Carrie, or Princess Leia. But I mean, I don't see, people that aren't Jedi or, Force sensitive can't come back as Force Ghost, so yeah, okay, a hallucination, that might be more viable if he has, like, maybe a flash and he's talking to his dad and then, he wakes up. But if it's going to be a Force Ghost, gotta be Luke, but this one's more up in the air. But reverse back to Ben, lovely, alright, nobody saw that one coming, right? Alright. This duel is a critical turning point for Rey as well. Really, she beat him. What the hell changed? Nothing changed for her. I'm told that in the wake of her confrontation with Kylo, she takes the Wayfinder and flees to Achtu, I think that's the planet that Luke was on, to collect her thoughts. Her mindset is reportedly mirrored Luke's when he was there during the events of The Last Jedi. The vision of a possible dark future for her, in conjunction to the fact that she nearly killed Kylo. She almost killed him in the first movie. Now she's having a mental breakdown about it. This is so stupid. Are they really that dumb? Like, come on, girl. You sliced his face open with a lightsaber. That could have killed him. But no, now all of a sudden, oh my god, I beat him. Now you're worried about turning to the dark side? Why don't you just have some freaking willpower? Like, come on. Everyone has the option to do something bad or option good. Every, sound-minded, logical person that, is a good person will never choose to do the bad thing over the good thing. And if they do choose the bad thing, it's because, they're being, they're held at gunpoint or something and they have to do it. Nobody will ever willingly choose to do the bad thing if they're a good person. Like, come on. You're telling me that you're just gonna... oh my... This is so stupid. The vision of possible dark future for herself, in conjunction to the fact that she nearly killed Kylo, scared Rey in the same way that considering killing Ben in his sleep scared Luke many years ago. Again, that was not Luke Skywalker, that was Jake Skywalker. She feared the path she was headed down and decides to swear off the Jedi. Oh my god, she's literally known about the Jedi for 3 freaking seconds. Now she doesn't want to be a Jedi anymore. Girl, you can't... So stupid. Exiling herself to the planet, Rey shuttles the ship she used to get there, just like Luke once did, and she caps it off by casting Anakin's reconstructed lightsaber toward her ship. Oh, okay, so she puts the Millennium Falcon under the water, and then she's throwing Anakin's lightsaber into the water. Lovely girl. What a waste. What a freaking... When items are this valuable... Like, there's not many lightsabers left, and you're just going to toss them. There's not very many ships left, but you're just going to put it underwater. That's the stupidest freaking shit I've ever heard. Oh, my God. My animals just broke something. I will be right back. Sorry about that, everyone. Everything is good. Animals are okay. Nothing is actually broken. It just sounded like it. But let's get back to this. Rey shuttles the ship she used to get there, just like Luke did once, and she caps it all off by casting Anakin's reconstructed lightsaber toward her ship. I'm glad that they actually acknowledge it's Anakin's and not hers, because I know that they did all the packaging, and it was like, this is Rey, and it's like, no, that's not Rey's lightsaber. If anything, it was Anakin's, which was passed down to Luke because he is his son. It is not Rey's lightsaber. Rey has no connection to it, aside from the fact that, it's a lightsaber that she found and she felt like she had a connection to, but no, it's not family. She didn't build it. It's not her lightsaber. Casting Anakin's reconstruction lightsaber toward her ship. Just when it looks like the Jedi Order is going to end again, the specter of Luke Skywalker appears to Rey, holding her discarded lightsaber, and does what all good Force ghosts do. Gives our hero the resolve to do what needs to be done. Finish the work Luke began over 30 years earlier and put an end to the Emperor for good. According to my source, Luke passes on Leia's lightsaber to Rey. Note, I don't know where it came from, where it's been all this time, or how Luke is able to give it to Rey, but what I can tell you with only about 50% confidence at this point is that Leia's blade is supposedly blue. Blustered by her conversation with Luke, Rey takes Leia's lightsaber, transmit the location of the Sith Fleet to the Resistance before heading out herself. So are you kidding me? This chick literally just dropped the ship into the water, and now she's got to get it out. See how pointless that... What the heck was that? See how pointless this task was, Rey? See how dumb that decision was? And then, okay, so now she's gonna finish what Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker couldn't. Okay, so you're telling me Anakin's entire arc throughout all the movies, we had the originals where it was Luke Skywalker going on his hero journey, Luke Skywalker going from the, just the farm boy that longed for adventure to becoming Luke Skywalker, the rebel pilot, the Jedi Knight, coming before Darth Vader, facing the Emperor, throwing his lightsaber down and saying, no, I will not turn to the dark side because I'm a Jedi like my father before me, and I would rather die than turn to the dark side. And then you had Anakin's entire arc. We see Darth Vader, but then we got the prequels to show how Anakin became Darth Vader, how this innocent child grew up into a man and was manipulated by the Emperor to become Darth Vader and to turn his back on everyone that cared about him, everything that he loved, and manipulated him into being a bad person and to believing that what he was doing was right, and how Anakin went on that arc like Luke, but instead of going one way, Anakin chose another, and then his arc is finally completed in Return of the Jedi, where he looks at his son that would rather die than turn to the dark side. Everything that Anakin wanted with Padme, their entire life, and him telling Padme in Revenge of the Sith, I'm stronger than the Emperor, I can overthrow him, but he doesn't, because the Emperor is that person that was always in his corner, that ever since he was a kid, he's like, I believe in you, Anakin. Let me be there for you. Palpatine was Anakin's biggest cheerleader. If Obi-Wan wouldn't listen to Anakin, the Jedi wouldn't listen to Anakin, Padme wouldn't listen to Anakin. He had the Emperor. That's because the Emperor was evil. He wanted to be that person, the person that Anakin would always lean on, the number one cheerleader for Anakin, so that way Anakin would have that trust in him. But Anakin, he loved Padme more. He was willing to overthrow the Emperor then. He has his son. He finally learns that Luke is alive. He tells him in Empire Strikes Back, together, let's rule the galaxy together. We don't need the Emperor. I'm stronger than that. But now, finally, he's seen, I don't need the Emperor. He'd rather, sacrifice himself to save Luke, because that is what is more important. That entire arc, gone. Gone now. With all of this bullshit that they just put in here. So you want to say that it's up to Rey now to complete this story that she wasn't even a part of? This thing that meant so much to everyone? That is one of the biggest insults. And I mean, you can make your arguments about it, but that's absolutely fundamentally wrong. And they're doing it. They're doing it. You know, destroy the past, kill it if you have to. That's exactly what they're doing. They're like, oh, this thing that you loved, this thing that you had so much faith in, this thing that, you know, brought people together, this thing called Star Wars. Let's fucking... That's all they care about. And now, apparently, they're giving Leia a lightsaber just to give it to Rey. Lovely. Lovely. On the subject of Force Ghosts, Luke makes another appearance around the time of Rey and Kylo's crisis of faith. Back at the main Resistance base, Leia is on her deathbed. My source describes it to me as like Yoda's death in Return of the Jedi. Nothing bad happened, it was just her time to go. Luke has come and to say I think this is typed wrong, to say goodbye, but before it all ends, Leia has one final lesson for her. For Leia, he has one final lesson for her. From what I've been able to put together, the final act of the film is structured like this. Rey leaves the planet and travels to the Sith Fleet in the unknown regions. Eventually, the Resistance fleet arrives and a battle ensues. Somehow, Rey finds her way to the Emperor, who has been waiting for her. Palpatine confirms that what Kylo told her was true. Apparently, after his death at Death Star 2, Palpatine was shaken by the fact that he wasn't able to maintain his hold on Vader or seduce Luke to the darkness. Again, this destroys Anakin and Luke's arc because Anakin brought balance to the Force by destroying the Emperor, by killing Palpatine, and then, you know, also by, you know, that was him sacrificing himself. It was the whole prophecy. Are they gonna freaking make that freaking prophecy about Rey? It's just, come on. The Emperor is back, so that way they can undo the past. They can say, oh, this whole prophecy, this whole entire thing that Star Wars was based on, it wasn't about Anakin, it wasn't about the Skywalkers, this is about Rey now. Rey's going to be the one that brings balance. Rey is the one that's finally going to out Palpatine. We already killed this character, we already had a completion to that arc, but let's bring him back just so that way we can undo everything that was done, and let's do it our way. This is such... oh my god. Power through this. Power through this. Luke to the darkness due to their familiar bond. During the course of the conversation, Palpatine makes references to his blood, or to this bond between Vader and Luke, and likens it to his bond with Rey, hoping that whatever familiar connection they have will be enough to win her over and become as strong as that of the Skywalkers. Note, what my source described next feels very reminiscent of Return of the Jedi. Rey is trapped in the Emperor's throne room watching two opposing fleets battle while she helplessly gazes onward. Oh, you mean like in The Last Jedi? They already did this. They already did this scene. Are you kidding me? That was a ripoff of, you know, Return of the Jedi. They ripped it off in The Last Jedi, and now they're going to rip off that again. It's like, come on, guys. Do something original. Have a creative thought. But no, it's just going to be the same thing. Watching two opposing fleets as she helplessly gazes onward. It's at this point that Kylo/Ben reappears. How we get to this next part is still a bit fuzzy to me, but apparently Ben and Rey join forces and begin attacking Palpatine. Not a smart idea. Again, this guy that loses every single fight, you're gonna expect him to fight the Emperor. Vader had to kill himself to defeat the Emperor. Luke Skywalker couldn't defeat the Emperor. Yoda couldn't defeat the Emperor. Yoda told Obi-Wan not even to try because Yoda knew Obi-Wan couldn't defeat the Emperor, and he didn't want another Jedi to die. He didn't want another one of his friends to die. Everyone that faces the Emperor dies. Or they're at that point where they can't fight back and somebody has to sacrifice themselves to, to kill the Emperor. So that way they don't die. Like, the only reason Luke survived his encounter with him was because Vader sacrificed himself. You're telling me this little twerp that cries, that doesn't have the balls to kill his mom, that his dad has to let him kill him, that loses against a girl that had only held a lightsaber once, that it was her first lightsaber battle, that every time he goes up against her again, loses? You're telling me that that kid is going to face the Emperor? and survive? Hell to the freak no. What is he doing? This is stupid. Oh my goodness. It's JJ. He just wants something that looks cool. That's all JJ cares about is like visually appealing images. That's it. That's it. It's like, oh, that's cool. Let's do it. Let's have Kylo and Rey fight the Emperor. Ugh. Logic, dude. Logic. You need to think before you do things. Leia's lightsaber comes back into play when Rey and Kylo share the Skywalker lightsabers throughout their fight. At some point, the Emperor overpowers them both and supposedly kills Ben. Well, there you go right there. Note, there have been reports from other reputable leaks that Kylo kind of sort of dies, but my source on this seems pretty unambiguous. Personally, I think we'll just have to wait and see what we learn over the next few months. When it looks like all hope is lost, the ghosts of Luke and Leia show up to aid Rey. Together they overpower the Emperor and in his darkness once and for all. Okay, again, you are breaking the laws of the universe that you are in. Force ghosts cannot interact with things. Rian Johnson threw that logic to the wind, threw those laws out when he brought Yoda in, and Yoda all of a sudden can use lightning to destroy things. So Force ghosts just have ultimate powers? Okay, why doesn't Anakin come back? And we already know Anakin can come back as a Force ghost. Why doesn't Anakin come back and just kill the Emperor himself? Luke is a Force ghost now. Why doesn't Luke just do it? Just lightning that dude. Just light him all up. Just go. I mean, if anything, you can just, if you say, oh, they can't do that because it's against their, it's against the Jedi. Well, all right, again, bring Anakin in. Anakin has killed plenty of people. Yeah, he went back to Anakin's not Vader anymore. Anakin still killed, Anakin killed all those sand people. Just kill the Emperor. Just freaking do it. Yoda set the thing to the tree. Yoda's like, have Yoda come in, his little puppet Yoda. Just light him up. Just do it. Just freaking do it at this point. Because if they knew anything about Star Wars, if they'd actually watched a Star Wars movie, if they watched when Obi-Wan dies, the only reason Luke blows up the Death Star in the first movie, he's trying to use the computer, he misses. If you ever actually watched that movie, you know Luke misses the shot because he was using the computers. Obi-Wan speaks to him and tells him to use the Force. Obi-Wan doesn't do it for him. Obi-Wan tells him multiple times, I can't do it for you. You have to do it. Not just about the Death Star, but about other things. You have to do this, Luke. It's not my mission. It's not my path. It's yours. He tells Luke, trust in yourself. Use the Force. That's how Luke was able to destroy the first Death Star, was because he used the Force. Even when, that scene where Yoda dies and Obi-Wan appears to Luke and he talks to Luke on Dagobah. He sits down with him on the tree. He says, I can't help you when you go and fight Vader. I can't help you against the Emperor. I can't do that because Force ghosts aren't capable of that. They travel to the Netherlands of the Force, or, the Netherworlds, of the Force. They can't interact with us. They can't interact with, people that are still alive, with the world around them the same way, because they are on a different plane of existence. It's still the Force, but it's a different aspect of it. They need to understand the rules of the universe that they are in. Obi-Wan has said it multiple times. If you go back and actually watch the damn movies, they would know that, but they didn't. They're like, oh, this looks cool, let me do it. Oh, it's Star Wars. Nobody's gonna notice. Nobody's gonna notice when we move the scar from across Kylo's face to like this. Nobody will notice. We're Star Wars fans. You know that saying, find a needle in a haystack? We're those people that would find that damn needle in a haystack. And it's Star Wars. We will know. You can throw all of that in, and we're going to tell you, that's hay, that's not a needle. Come on. So you're going to tell me that Leia dies, and Luke, you killed off Luke, so now both of them are gone, and they're going to come back and fight? That's not how the Force works. That's the only thing that they got right in all of this. In every single movie, the only thing they got right was that one line from Harrison Ford as Han Solo in The Force Awakens. When he just looks at him, that's not how the Force works. That's literally every single Star Wars fan about everything everything that they have done with this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Together, they overpower the Emperor and end his darkness once and for all. Okay, so they're basically going to copy that scene from Harry Potter and the fourth one, the one where they go on when Harry and Voldemort are finally having their wizard's duel because Voldemort got his sacrifice from Cedric Diggory, and they cut off the hand of Wormtongue. They cut off the dude's hand, threw it in the pot. Voldemort came back into the flesh. Him and Harry have the duel because of the wands. The parents came off and they all rushed Voldemort, so Harry was able to get away to the port key and get out. That is what this sounds like. J.J. Abrams apparently is a fan of Harry Potter, saw that scene, like, oh, okay, let's have Luke and Leia come back and help Rey and Kylo, or Ben, fight the Emperor. Let's rush him, get them distracted so that way they can defeat him. That's oh my god, if this scene is like shot for shot like it, I wouldn't be surprised. This is absolutely ridiculous. As for what the other members of the Resistance are doing at this point, they are engaged in a space battle against Palpatine's fleet by General Pryde. It's Pryde, so it's like Pride, but just with a Y instead of an I. The Resistance goal is supposedly to take out the flagship, severing communication and making navigation out of the unknown regions impossible. The flagship is destroyed around the same time that the Emperor dies. Okay, well, did he really die? And if he dies, if he can come back as a Force Ghost, he can still use his freaking powers because they have no care for the laws of this universe. Okay, so you're telling me that all you have to do is take out one ship and every single other ship doesn't have navigation? That's like saying, like, oh, you take out one car, the next car can't use navigation. I'm pretty sure they have it hardwired into all of the ships, some kind of GPS system. That way they can see, oh, you're saying that only one ship has the plan to the unknown region? Come on, that's not how, like, militaries operate. Yeah, if there's a secret place that nobody needs to go to, you have to go through the chain of command, and I'm sure that on every single ship there is somebody in the chain of command that might have that information or can access it when, the military breaks down. Like, they would have fail-safes for that. Okay, well, what if the Emperor dies? What if the next person under him dies, or the next person, or the next person, or the next person? Chain of command. They have ways of getting that information. This is somebody that knows absolutely nothing about that writing about it. This sounds like a child's logic. It really does. Like, I understand if there's like 5 people and 4 of them die and there's just one left, and that last person's like, oh, the last one, they didn't have all the information. There still would be a way to access it somehow. I'm assuming they might have some kind of code word. They do this very well in Star Trek, but this is like, you're talking about millions and millions of people. You're telling me that they don't have a plan for if the flagship gets knocked out. What if there's like just a technical difficulty? This is space. Like Han Solo said, it's not like flying through crops. Come on. There's always going to be a fallback or a fail-safe. Again, this is like a child wrote it. The last thing I was told regarding the final sequence of the film, I don't know why, but our heroes travel to Tatooine. Oh my god, what are they going to do to Tatooine? During these scenes, it is supposedly revealed that Rey has cannibalized Anakin/Luke's lightsaber and Leia's to make one of her own, supposedly has a yellow gold blade. She buries the leftover pieces on the ground of the former Lars homestead. The final shots of the Skywalker saga allegedly echoed how the adventure began in 1977. Our heroes gazing at the horizon, dreaming of the future, and twin suns set in the distance. Oh my god. This is literally a perfect metaphor for what they've been saying. Let the past die. Kill it if you have to. Let's take all the little pieces that we want, that us Disney freaks, us people at Disney, because we can't use everything, because apparently George Lucas still has the right, so we want to only take what we want. We don't want people to love the things that they used to care about. We want to destroy all of it. Let's take Anakin's lightsaber, let's take Luke's lightsaber, now let's take Leia's lightsaber, let's take all the little bits and pieces that we want, let's put it all together, let's say, oh, this is the new thing you have to love, and let's throw everything else away. That's what they've been doing with Star Wars. Like I said, it's a perfect metaphor. We only want these characters. We don't want these characters. Leia is still, perfect. Apparently she was a bad mom, but, oh, that's just because Han Solo was a deadbeat dad, because, oh no, he's a white man bad. Luke Skywalker, shitty Jedi, wanted to kill his nephew. Doesn't matter that he would rather die than hurt his father, but apparently his father, who, you know, killed hundreds, if not thousands of people, that tortured his sister. Darth Vader, I'd rather die than kill him, but my nephew, who's having a bad dream, I don't mind killing. Are you kidding me? Oh, but yeah, again, Luke's a white man. White man's bad. Leia's okay. Oh, Chewie's okay. Well, let's kind of half-ass his character. He wasn't even mentioned throughout this entire thing. Oh, C-3PO. Well, let's kind of have him. Let's not so much. Let's try to phase him out. Same with R2-D2. Let's try to phase him out. Let's bring in BB-8. We don't need R2 because now we got BB-8. He's cuter. He's a little soccer ball. We can make toys of him. Kids like him. And yeah, that's it. Rey takes apart everything that we cared about, that we loved, that we, have seen. Let's go back to Tatooine. Let's have that scene. Let's have that binary sunset scene. That was one of the most pivotal points in my life, watching Star Wars and watching that scene and seeing Luke Skywalker. And just a farm boy, look at that sunset and all that hope, that all those infinite possibilities, and the song, the music playing. That's a moment that I will never forget in my entire life, because it was the moment that my life changed. And, it was that connection with Luke, because he was a farm boy, and I grew up on a farm. If he could do it, if he could become a Jedi and change the world, so could anyone, and so could I. And now they're going to ruin it. Destroy the past, kill it if you have to. That's exactly what they're doing. And this sucks. Well, I mean, it falls into play with everything that they've done so far. Oh, God. Well, I wasn't looking forward to this anyway. This is just, the way I described The Last Jedi, it's like, they're stabbing you and they're twisting it. And they're twisting it, and they're saying, if you don't like it, you're a misogynistic man baby. Well, guess what? I'm not a misogynistic man baby. This is literally destroying everything that I loved and cared about, and they don't care, because they're like, oh, well, we want to do it our way. We don't want to have it your way. We want to take it and make it ours, and change everything that everyone cared about. Everything that made Star Wars special, we're going to destroy it right before your eyes, and we're going to make you pay for it. And then if you don't buy it, you're a bad person. Well, guess what? We're not bad people. We just care about the things that we love. And Star Wars is something that me and many people like me care so deeply about. And it's something that is such an ingrained part of who we are and our lives. And Star Wars helped shape the world. It's been around for, over 40 years. And it's only taken Disney a handful to destroy it. So, yeah. And a yellow lightsaber, yellow's my favorite color. That's why everything I have is usually yellow, and, my thumbnails and in, the logos and stuff of my channel. This sucks. And it's infuriating. But, everyone, let me know what you thought of these leaks in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit a thumbs up. I didn't like making this video, so doesn't bother me if you don't like it. But, if you enjoyed my commentary on it, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that little bell. That way you get notifications when I do other videos and live streams. And until next time, everyone, have a great rest of your day. And may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and I have an Etsy store, so if you've ever wanted to own a print of my artwork, this is the place to go. As you can see, I have a lot of recognizable characters, from horror films to heroes to Star Wars characters. Some of the notable characters I have on here are Darth Vader, which I did a couple live streams painting, so you can own a print of this painting. I also have Luke Skywalker, the binary sunset version, one of my favorite scenes in the original New Hope movie. I have Darth Maul, which Ray Parks himself actually complimented me on Instagram. And then last but certainly not least, Ahsoka Tano. So if you want to own any of these prints, go right on over to my Etsy store. Again, that's The Art of Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. What's up, everyone? I have a P.O. box, so if you want to send me some mail, go ahead and send it to Anna, that's Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short, at P.O. Box number 28171, Santa Ana, California, 927998171. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much.